The Commonwealth Football Coaches Association proudly presents the 2023 Cfca Media Days. We welcome Coach Bruton, the head football coach from Gainesville High School. Coach, if you could, please introduce yourself and give our viewers a little bit more insight about your coaching career and current school.
Name's Daniel Bruton, head football coach at Gainesville High School. Pretty new school. We're entering year 3 of the school being open. This will be our second varsity season. The first year in Prince William County, they only allow you to play freshman and JV schedule with no seniors in the school. So this is our second varsity season. My coaching career started in 2007 in North Carolina at my high school that I graduated from. Started out, we ran, wing T offense, the same offense I grew up in. I was fortunate enough to, help call plays and help with the coach that was there at the time. That was the DC when I played. He was the head coach at that time. And then we got a coach that came in after 2 years that coached at Georgia Southern with Paul Johnson and Eric Russell. And so we ran the triple option for 2 years. And then my wife, being from Virginia, is what moved me up here. She's a Brentsville graduate. Her parents are Potomac graduates. So we moved up here. I coached at Hilton 1 year. I was there when Patriot opened up for 2 seasons. And then I was fortunate enough to get the head football job at Forest Park, where I spent 4 years there. Then moved to Loudoun County and coached at Briar Woods for 3 through the COVID season. And then my wife wanted to get back closer to family, so we moved back to Prince William County, and I was lucky enough to land this job here at Gainesville High School.
Yeah, it's always cool, Coach, to open up a new school like you did. And you're still young, like you said, going into second year of varsity. Could you give our viewers kind of a brief overview of this past off season and kind of an outlook for the upcoming 2023 football season?
Off season, we focused a lot the previous year on speed. We knew we were not going to catch up to a lot of the older, more established teams with size and strength in the weight room. So we spent a lot of time focusing on speed and agility, training proper technique with that. So this year, when we went to the winter season, we decided we're going to try to put on mass on the kids and get the strength numbers up. So that was kind of our winter phase. In the spring phase, it was about explosive movements in the weight room, and then we started incorporating our speed training in the spring. We also did some 7-on-7 with the guys at Patriot High School, and a bunch of other schools came, but, we really appreciate Coach Finnerty for putting that on. I know it takes a lot of work on his end, but it's always good to go get work against other people and just compete a little bit. 7-on-7 went well. Worked some things, took about 30, 35 kids with us each week and got a lot of guys reps. We got film of it so we could teach them through that. Summer was about getting in football shape and starting to install stuff. And then, the look for this season is we can't hang our hats on being young anymore. We got a year under our belt. We got a lot of returning starters. We expect more out of them this year than we did last year. Everybody's got goals, but our goal is, just take it one game at a time and, try to put our best foot forward every week and then try to extend our season by at least one game.
No doubt. We're currently about 3 weeks now in preseason practice. Some of us have already had scrimmages, that kind of stuff. Anything that has happened that has kind of surprised you or, got you really excited about this upcoming fall?
Our skill positions on offense are extremely talented. It's great to have, a junior running back that currently holds a Power 5 offer. Got a big, tight end who's 6'4", 6'5", basketball kid who can run, he can catch, but he's a former left tackle, so he still blocks like a lineman. It's good to have him out there. Our 3 receivers that in our 11 personnel packages, with a guy like Aiden McClafferty coming back off the season he had last year, in 9 games had over 100 yards average per game receiving with 13 touchdowns in 9 games. He's going to be somebody that people got to take away. But our other 2 guys. One's a brand new to football guy. He's a basketball player. He's our point guard. We have another few slots that are competing. Two of our receivers moved over from defense to play primarily offense, and they look good. One's White Bach, who he was one of our 5 guys that were elected captain today. He's had a good offseason. And then we have 4 returning starters on O-line. We started out last week with Brentsville with 3 returning starters, and we added the 4th one this week. And then, so 3 or 4 of the 5 return, and the guy that's new in there right now is a big 6'6", 285 sophomore. So we just got to get him caught up. He looks the part. He plays with physicality. It's just trying to catch him up with our calls and our schemes and stuff like that.
No doubt.
And then,
you've kind of talked about some of your kids already. Is there any other key student athletes or any young guys, since you're a young school, that the state of Virginia and colleges around the area should be looking to have a big season this upcoming fall?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty confident with, our right guard, Jack Smoot, who's going into his junior year, started every game for us last year. He's 6'4", 275, right guard. He's born and bred to be an O-lineman. He looks the part. He plays the part. I think college is going to want to know him. Got a sophomore at right tackle who played the back half of the season on varsity for us last year. Jeremy Stith, who's another captain for us. He's one of our primary 2-way guys. He's an animal on the defensive line. And that's why I would like to keep him if I could most of the time, but I need him at left tackle for us. We got a returning starter who's only a sophomore at Mike Backer and Adam Rodriguez. He plays with his hair on fire. He's a physical kid. He plays hard. Brand new kid at one of our corners. Another basketball kid came out this year as a senior. He's athletic as all get out. His name is B.J. Rollison. Our 2 safeties are returning starters, and Jaden Bell and J.T. Walker. Our Sam Backer is back healthy. He got hurt. He dislocated his elbow last year and maxed his ear. Other corner, Michael Ramirez it was our slot last year. We moved in the corner. And then, we got some new faces on the D-line besides Jeremy. Aiden Washington was a second-year player. He's a primary basketball kid until last year, but he's just gotten bigger and stronger, and he plays physical with his hands. He plays DN. We got another backer we moved to DN, and Carrington Knight that looks good. Got a young sophomore named Logan Burnett that's playing well. And then we're going to have some rotational pieces in there in the middle, along with Jeremy and Jack and Evan. You got some other big kids that go in there and play significant snaps for us.
Yeah, it's always cool when I have coaches on here. Obviously, you're at Gainesville High School. I live just down the road, Gainesville, Haymarket area. And so I recognize a lot of these kids' names growing up through the Grizzly group there in Haymarket and Gainesville. So it's always cool to kind of see, who's who, where they're at, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, you get to know them too, because a lot of them from us and Patriot and Battlefield also come back and officiate for the Grizzlies, and that was the fun part for me last year. Helping coach 7-on-7 for my son's 10U team was, getting to not just see my guys there, but getting to meet some of the guys from the other schools, because you know how it is when you put that helmet on, you got to be a different person. So you might have one idea of how a kid from Battlefield is or Patriot or something like that, and then you get to meet them when it's not, helmet strapped on, shoulder pads ready to go, and you just get to kind of see them on their human side, and it gives you an appreciation for them as a kid too, because you kind of know them as a player, but now you get to know them as a kid, and there's a lot of good kids out there in Prince William County, I can tell you that.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Coach, we're all coaches, and, the most important game is the next game. So for all of us, that's week 1, however, are there any key matchups, rivalries people should be looking forward to watching on your guys' schedule?
In our region this year, there's 19 teams. So it's going to be a dog fight for everybody to try to get that one extra game and get in the playoffs. I'm not a great mathematician or anything, but at 7-3, I feel like you're hoping and praying to get in. I think 8-2, you're in. So we really have to focus on every game as being the most important game. We got to prepare like it's a state championship every week. And as far as rivalries, I think we're still too young to have earned the fact to call Battlefield or Patriot a rival. They both handled us pretty well last year. So, and until we can get on that level with our play and not just expectations, I don't think we have a rival yet. Hopefully, this year, 2-3 years down the road, we can look at Battlefield and Patriot and call them rivals. But at this point, they're the creme de la creme of our conference in our district, and until somebody knocks them off, that's how we have to prepare.
Yep. And early in the schedule, who'd you all get on your early schedule before district play?
Yeah, we have 3 out of our 4 Prince William County teams. So we have 3 east side Prince William County teams. We'll start off with Potomac, who I saw some of their film last year. They were athletic. They had some big boys up front. I don't know how many of those guys return or not. I haven't done that deep dive yet. We have Garfield, who was a playoff team last year, week 2. So again, you got to be ready for that game. Then we'll travel down to Woodbridge, and Woodbridge, just historically always has athletes. So you have to be ready for them. I coached Lagerbeamer. I coached against him his 1 year in Loudon during that COVID year before he came. That was game 1 of that COVID season for me. So I know him. He's a good dude. I'm looking forward to that matchup. And then we have a Fairfax team. We travel to Fairfax to play Robinson, who I know they have a new head coach, but they've always been a very tough physical team and well coached. So again, another good matchup for us. So, I mean, there's nobody on our schedule right now you can look ahead and circle as a win. You have to prepare every week.
100%. Well, Coach, as always, we want to wish you a safe and successful 2023 season. For our viewers, you guys can go to our website. Our website is cfcavafb.org. There you can get more details about the Coaches Association as well as information on how to become a member. Coach, any last comments before we go?
No, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate it as well, Coach. Coach, thank you again for your time and have a great season.
Thank you.